I'm standing in front of the Scottish Rite Freemasonry building. You see it's right behind me. You can see all the Egyptian art on the building. In fact, I'm going to go in and show you in just a second all of the art. We have an appointment to go in here and meet with them and walk around and see what's in the building. I'm very interested to see all the architecture, the Egyptian pagan art, and the Star Sirius. I've done so much research about this that I'm interested to go in here. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if we're going to be received nicely, if they're going to not like us in there, and I don't know. But at least we're here now, and here, I'm going to show you some of this art.
Obviously Egyptian. We've seen that before. He's explaining to us, our guide right now, look at the little triangle with 1,000 points of light. He's explaining to us right now that there is, to the ceiling, 33 meters. Everything is 33, and there you see the 33 on that, well, they call it an eagle. It's a phoenix bird, in my opinion. They are trying to disguise. He's also saying right here that there are 33 seats, and there's 33 chairs around because that's how many people are in the Supreme Council. That back row that you just saw a minute ago there, that's for actual 33rd degree Masons. They are allowed to come in and not participate, but just be there. My guide is telling me right now that they've patterned this whole thing after Solomon's Temple, and of course that's what the Masons believe, that there is going to be a third Messianic Jewish temple on the Temple Mount.
I'm standing right at the altar in the main temple. Is that what it is? The main... Okay, so you heard it, the house of the temple for the southern jurisdiction, right at the altar. Various books up here they have. That also, can you just pan over there real quick, if you could? Also the main seat, I guess, is the way to say it, over there. And he explained to us that basically it's darker, the lights are darker at the bottom, and as you are illuminated more and more understanding, it gets lighter at the top, and that's to symbolize that with 1,000 points of light, of course, around the temple.
Now remember, this is the altar right here. They have all the holy books there. Remember, one of the 10 commandments was do not worship any other god. So understand that right there is Satan's prime spot. He loves the fact that they're worshiping all these different gods, and that is an abomination. I mean, I'm standing right in the middle of mass evil right there.
There's an interesting point that was made that, in fact, all the holy books are here. The Quran, the Jewish Bible, the Christian Bible, the Masonic documents, or I guess their handbook is here. And so the Bhagavad Gita, oh, that's back there too, yeah. That's back there. They've got all the different holy books here. Their belief that, you know, you got to have a God. So that's what they have that all there for. I'm standing in the executive quarters at the Scottish Rite here, and this is where we've been told that the executives hang out and make decisions for the organization. In fact, I see actually it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 headed star up there.
Our guy told us that this is the pillar of charity, and there it is. You have to give, I think it's $1 million to get your name on that little wall. And there's Albert Pike. Now, Albert Pike, they say, our guide is telling me, he's actually buried literally right behind the statue because they're worried about his remains. They don't want anybody to steal his remains. So he's buried right behind there. Here is the main library, and this is just a beautiful place. I mean, if you didn't understand what's in here, but there's some very interesting books here.
I'm standing in the main library here at the Scottish Rite in Washington, D.C., and there are some Abraham Lincoln stuff here. In fact, there's a portrait of him, and there's some more articles about him, and I'm assuming written by him or something. I was just told by our guide that he, in fact, though he was not a Mason, he did live by the Masonic principles.
That is the most fitting tribute we can pay, the most lasting monument we can build to that most remarkable of men, Abraham Lincoln.
Which is very interesting. So that's why they've got a lot of his stuff here.
here is a little, I guess, frame and all the pictures, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin. I mean, you go down the list. They are very proud to say that many presidents were Masons, and they have all of their pictures there, and J. Edgar Hoover and FDR. I mean, they got all the guys there. It's like a big group hug there. Isn't that cool? Here's another hallway of the library. Here's the main entryway. This is, I mean, it's riddled with Egyptian architecture like crazy. You got the two guys sitting back there on a smoke break, the two Egyptian guys, and then look at that, Albert Pike. They got another statue of him right in the middle of the whole thing right there.
I'm standing in the atrium of the Scottish Rite Temple right here in Washington, D.C. The address is 1733 Constitution, is that right? 16th Street. Okay, the address is 1733 16th Street. And you see the two Egyptian men there and Albert Pike bust up in the middle. Our guide has told us that the beams you see here of granite actually hold up the temple that is actually right above us. So really impressive architecture and very elaborately designed.
Eerie, to say the least. I was floored to be there, and not in a good way. I couldn't believe some of the architecture and some of the things I found there. You definitely had a feeling of power, and they knew that they were powerful and that they could change the world with their belief. And I thought for a moment, man, what if we would get with it? We as Christians would understand the power that we have through the blood of Jesus Christ, through the power of his resurrection. If we would understand and believe half as much as they do, the power that they hold and deal within the world, man, we could change the world if we would understand who we are.